Peace, family. Peace meaning positive energy always creates elevation. And so this video that I'm about to get ready to share with you guys is the producer that actually produced the movie Hunger Games, okay? And so basically what he's going to be doing is he's going to be exposing what takes place in Hollywood concerning child trafficking, all right? And so I don't care who likes this video, man. I'm going to keep pushing this information because it's very critical to society today, okay? So I'm going to keep pushing this information, okay? Right now, our children are being kidnapped. They're being kidnapped and subjected to cruel treatment, overly cruel treatment, all right? Due to the people that we tend to invest our money in on an everyday basis. Now, my question is going to be, when is this insanity going to come to an end? We hold the power. We hold the power to say we no longer supporting y'all. If your name came up on that list concerning Jeffrey Epstein's island, we're no longer supporting you because we know what you guys are involved with. We know the things that you do to the children, and not just children, but adults as well. But today we're going to mainly focus on the children, okay? And we have people like him coming out every day putting their lives on the line to push information to people that I want to say are not taking heed to it, who are not willing to stand for anything. So I'm going to ask that if you watch this video and you have any type of heart, that you will push it so that other people who have went through this situation or who have, and they're afraid to step up, to say anything about it, that they will get the courage to step up and start to speak, okay? And so with that being said, if I have you here, please like and share. Please like and share, right? And let's jump into this video.
I just wanted to talk to a couple of you. My name is John Paul Rice, for the people watching that may not know who I am. My friends know me. I'm an independent film producer. I've been in Hollywood for about 20 years. I started my film career in Remember the Titans. Worked at Senator International, later Mandate Pictures, under the producers who did Juno, The Grudge, Harold and Kumar, Stranger Than Fiction, and eventually The Hunger Games when they went back into Lionsgate. This is a bigger problem because most people know in that world, and the world that I come from in Hollywood, that it is a hidden layer that everybody knows is there. When the Me Too movement started in 2017, I reached out to several of my female actress friends who were prominent in LA. You would know them by name. Many of them you would know by just their look, because you go, oh, that was her in that movie or that movie. And I said, well, what about the children? What about the children? And the response was, we know. But they were silent on it. And it destroyed me because it destroyed my illusion of what rights, human rights were, children's rights were. This is a child abuse system that we have been living in for a very long time, and it's been allowed to go on. And I will not be silent about this because it affects every single one of us. The people on television who smile at you, who tell you stories, who give you news, are the ones who hide all of this from us. They are not talking about the real issues. They are distracting you with division issues. This is a unification issue. When the Maxwell files came out 48 hours ago, I went on MSNBC, I went on CNN.com, and I looked at every single one of their headlines, and there was no mention of it whatsoever. They were talking about John Lewis's funeral. They were talking about Obama versus Trump, all of the bullshit that you and I hear every single day. And it doesn't matter what side of the political equation you're on this. This is a child issue. This is a human issue. This is not a political issue. It has nothing to do with left versus right, Democrat versus Republican, liberal versus conservative, or anything you are or you identify with as in between. We are faced with a crisis of consciousness among the leadership of our banking institutions, of our media corporations, of the Hollywood entertainment industry, of the music industry. This is not about a bunch of young women who were having sex with older men and make it about a bunch of perverts. They raped and tortured these girls against their own free will, no matter whether they paid them or not. If you read the articles and you listen to what Ghislaine Maxwell said about the girls that she picked up in West Palm Beach's trailer parks, she was asked, what about the young girls? What are we going to do to them? What's going to happen to them? She said, they are trash. They are nothing. That's a direct quote from the New Yorker. When I went and looked at edge.org, which you can find out was a multi-billionaire club of people that was financed by Jeffrey Epstein, you can go to edge.org today, look up under people, and go to G. You'll see Bill Gates on there as a contributing member of that organization. And you'd have to go back in the Wayback Machine and Internet Archives to look at all the other people. Jeffrey Epstein was right on there. Marina Abramovich is on there. Paul Allen was on there. All the heads of major industries were on there. And if you start reading some of the articles, one of which I have a direct link to that I will share with anybody who DMs me, there is a direct quote on there that said, indeed, human beings are, in our youngest years, among the most useless creatures in all of the animal kingdom. This is how they view children, through science. This is their expression. These are people who have no ground to tell you what to think, what to do. So when they get up there and they start espousing their views on social justice or whatever the hell it is, know that you're hearing a controlled and scripted dialogue that is going through a filter by people who are very powerful, who hold a lot of money, and they are controlling and conditioning all of these people through pedophilia. And there's another layer to it, but it's too unbelievable to believe that they would also sacrifice kids. And I'll give you one statistic that you can look up and verify for yourself. If you go to UNICEF and you look up child sex trafficking or human trafficking, you'll find a statistic globally, worldwide, according to the United Nations, that 40 million people a year are trafficked around this world. 40 million. It's a $150 billion a year industry.
Man, 40 billion people a year are being trafficked. Yet and still, we won't make no type of noise behind this. See, I don't believe that there's anybody out here that's afraid, right? I truly believe that there's just a lot of people involved. There's a lot of people that see things the same way as these individuals that are involved with it. And so therefore, they don't want to step up. We see right now that a lot of our politicians are trying to make it legal for them to be able to have this type of intercourse with minors. They're pushing this. And no one finds that sick. The type of things they're pushing on our children in the schools, no one finds it sick. So for me to sit here and say that I believe that people are afraid, I would be lying. No, I don't think that people are afraid. I think that it's a lot of people out here that are involved with it and just they have the same mind state. That's what it is.
For which has very dark and ugly ties. And it goes all the way up into Wall Street and beyond. But I will say this, 5.5 million children every year are trafficked around the world. 5.5 million, most of whom don't live past age 7 or 8, which means they have to replenish that supply chain. They harvest organs of children on a black market. In China right now, there are concentration camps for young Muslims to the tune of 1 million people. Nobody's talking about this. This is modern day slavery. They are beating these people, they are re-indoctrinating them, and they are raping their wives to start a new bloodline. That's happening right now in China. You can find that on the Washington Post or the New York Times. Nobody else is saying anything about it in our politics, in our mainstream news. Nobody's talking about it. It is slavery of human beings is going on today, and it must stop, and it is a child abuse issue. All of these kids that were preyed upon, many of them came from bad homes. That's not their fault. But these predators, they come after our children because they can offer them things. They can offer them alcohol, they can offer them money, they can offer them drugs to lure them in. And suddenly, as you will find out if you read the Maxwell testimony, you'll find that what they were doing is they asked Ghislaine Maxwell, well, did you ever talk to her about money that she could earn, about giving a hand job or sexual favors to Epstein? And she went through this long explanation. Well, we discussed career advice and I advised her and possibly, told her that where she could advance her career. That's as far as she would go. And then her lawyer cut her off. These people don't give a shit about anybody, and they get up there and they smile in front of you, and they are infiltrated throughout all of our institutions, including government. They own the politicians, right and left. What we are going to find out very soon is that there aren't Democrats and Republicans in the United States government. There's a unified cabal of controlled people who serve these powers, and they keep the theater going for you and I to run back and forth and vote every 4 years. I have watched horror story after horror story, and I promise you this is true. Go on YouTube and find Anake Lucas, who was a child sex slave at 6 years old for the elite. And she will describe to you, she also gave a TED Talk on this, but this was in 2016. She talked about the block of wood that she saw with the stains of blood of children on it. The predators are not just raping and having sex and torturing and beating these kids. They're murdering them for pleasure. This is not a pedophile. These are psychopaths. And they have no remorse whatsoever in what they're doing. What we need to do in this world is unify together to protect all life on this planet and the sacredness of children.
Man, y'all, I told y'all, man, when it comes to money, bro, you have to understand that they don't care about money, man, because they create it. They know money holds no weight in this world, only in the eyes of those who have made it their gods. And who are those people? Well, those are going to be the people on the lower level of life. Those are going to be the people who yearn for what has been presented to them on the television, mainly the children, okay? Because they push certain things in front of their faces on the television. And this is why it's so easy for them to come along and manipulate them with this type of lifestyle, okay? Because they really believe that they're gaining something. They truly believe that they're gaining something, and them being innocent and have not yet began to try to even figure out the world, they fall victim to the celebrities, the politicians, the entertainment. You know what I'm saying? They fall victim to these things. And so it's up to us to give our kids the knowledge and the wisdom to be able to see these type of things when it's coming and to be able to avoid it. But first and foremost, we're going to have to start standing up. We're going to have to stop putting our money in the hands of these people who are out to do no good, who are just evil in heart. When are we going to start doing that? You cannot tell me, bro, that you love these entertainers that much. I showed you guys another video, man, with a young goddess, man, how she was speaking on being involved with the same situation, how she's been pushed on to all of these presidents and their wives and these celebrities and the princes and kings over in Europe. I showed y'all that video. You see what I'm saying? So there's more and more people that's starting to step up, but unfortunately, there's not enough people who's willing to, do what they need to do in order to make sure that this whole system falls. We're the one who's feeding the system. Especially when we talk about the celebrities, because we give them the power to even consider themselves a celebrity. Okay? And not only that, we have to watch the ones that's in between, because, we can say that these people are actually funding it, but there's a group of people out here that is actually doing the kidnapping. And unfortunately, those people are going to be the ones that you look past every day. The janitor in the school, CPS, DCS, whatever you want to call them, DCFS. You know, those are going to be the ones. The teachers, the worker at Walmart, your next door neighbor. These are the ones that we need to most definitely keep our eyes out for, okay? So, I'm going to ask you guys, man, if you feel some type of way about this video, please share it so that others will know that they're not alone in this, all right? And with that being said, man, if you ain't following me on YouTube, please go over to YouTube and follow me at I Am Awakened. Also, please do not forget to follow me on Instagram at I Am Awakened_chosen one, man. And with that being said, man, I want to leave you guys as I came. I want you guys to always be aware, because to be aware is to be alive. And as always, peace, family. Peace meaning positive energy always creates elevation. Ashe.